Welcome to my channel. My name's Ethan, 24 years old. I live in a small apartment downtown with my girlfriend, Isabella, a brilliant, confident woman who seems to have everything figured out. She works in marketing, always looks polished, and moves through life with a certainty I've never had. I, on the other hand, have always been the quiet one, the observer. I work remotely as a freelance designer, which gives me the freedom to stay home all day and hide a secret that I've carried since I was 16. It started harmlessly. Back then, my sister, Chloe, and I were close, inseparable really. She was older by 2 years and loved experimenting with makeup and clothes. I used to sit on her bed while she got ready for parties, pretending to scroll through my phone while secretly admiring the way she transformed herself. The colors, the confidence, the way her reflection smiled back. It fascinated me. One day, she caught me holding one of her skirts, just feeling the soft fabric between my fingers. She laughed it off then, teasing me for being curious. But something changed in me that day. I started sneaking into her room when she wasn't around, trying on her things in front of the mirror. It wasn't just about the clothes, it was the feeling of slipping into a version of myself I didn't recognize but somehow felt right. Now, years later, Chloe's married and lives across the city, but I still think about those moments. Especially because I've never told anyone, not even Isabella. She wouldn't understand. She's always been attracted to my masculine energy, as she puts it. I've worked hard to maintain that image for her. Our apartment is small, 2 rooms, minimal decor, and a warm, honey-colored light that makes everything feel intimate. But lately, that closeness has started to suffocate me. Isabella's been busier at work, coming home late, and I found myself with too much time alone and too many thoughts. A week ago, Chloe called. She was cleaning out her closet and asked if I could stop by to pick up some old clothes she wanted to donate. Maybe Isabella can use some of them, she said. When I arrived, she had several boxes stacked by the door, dresses, skirts, tops, even shoes. Here, she said, brushing dust off one of the boxes. There's still some good stuff in here. I used to love that red dress, but it's time to let it go. That red dress. I remembered it immediately, how stunning she looked in it on her graduation night. I shouldn't have, but when I got home, I opened the box, just to look. The fabric was softer than I remembered, still carrying a trace of her perfume, floral and slightly sweet. I told myself I'd just hold it for a moment, maybe fold it properly before giving it to Isabella. But as I stood there alone, something inside me whispered, "Try it on." I resisted at first. I really did. But that whisper became louder with every minute I stared at the dress. The thought of feeling it against my skin again made my pulse quicken. So, I closed the curtains, locked the door, and slipped into it. It fit perfectly. I stood before the mirror, staring at my reflection, a strange mix of disbelief and recognition washing over me. The red dress hugged my body in all the right places, and when I brushed the hair from my forehead, I could almost see Chloe. Not just her, something in me that felt freer, lighter, even beautiful. My breath caught. For the first time in months, I smiled at my reflection. Then the guilt hit me. If Isabella ever found out, what would she think? She'd probably laugh, or worse, look at me like she didn't know me at all. She'd think I was hiding something shameful. I pulled the dress off quickly, folded it neatly, and tucked it back into the box. My heart was pounding, but my hands were trembling with something that felt dangerously like excitement. The next few days, that memory haunted me. I couldn't focus on work. Every time Isabella mentioned Chloe, even casually, my chest tightened. By Thursday, I cracked. Isabella had an overnight work trip, and I was alone again. The boxes were still in the corner of the bedroom. I sat there staring at them for almost an hour before I finally gave in. I opened the box again, not just the red dress this time. There was a pale pink blouse, a fitted skirt, and a pair of nude heels. I don't know what came over me, but I started experimenting, combining different pieces, doing my best to recreate the look Chloe used to wear. When I caught sight of myself again in the mirror, I barely recognized the person staring back. For a moment, I wasn't Ethan. I was someone else. Someone confident, graceful, alive. And for that one night, I didn't care who I was supposed to be. I even took a few pictures, nothing risky, just mirror selfies. I told myself it was for art reference, but deep down I knew I just wanted to remember how it felt. The way the skirt swished when I moved, the sound of the heels tapping softly against the floor. It was intoxicating. When Isabella called to check in that night, I was still dressed. My heart raced as her voice filled the room. "Hey, babe," she said cheerfully. "Miss me yet?" I swallowed hard, trying to sound normal. "Of course. Just, catching up on some design work." She laughed. "You're such a workaholic. Promise me you're not just playing video games again." I smiled nervously. Promise. If she only knew. After the call, I sat down on the bed, staring at my reflection one last time. I should have taken everything off right then, washed my face, changed back, and buried the clothes. But something inside me whispered again. What if you didn't hide anymore? I ignored it. I wasn't ready. Not yet. Still, I couldn't shake the thought that this side of me, this reflection in the mirror, wasn't going away this time. It had always been there, waiting for me to acknowledge it. And I had no idea how much trouble that simple act of curiosity was about to cause. Because the next morning, everything changed. The morning after my secret night, I woke up with the strange ache of guilt and longing swirling inside me. The boxes from Chloe still sat by the wardrobe, silent but heavy with temptation. I tried to distract myself with work, designing logo mock-ups for a client who couldn't make up his mind, but my focus was gone. Every click of my mouse only reminded me of how I'd felt the night before, beautiful, alive, and dangerously close to being discovered. I told myself it was just a moment of weakness. I'd pack the clothes up and give them to Isabella when she returned that evening. But when I lifted the lid again to seal the box, my eyes landed on something that stopped me cold. At the bottom of the pile lay a soft blonde wig. It wasn't Chloe's usual shade. She dyed her hair darker before she moved out. This one must have been left from her college days, a relic from when she'd done theater for fun. The sight of it, the final piece of an illusion, sent a chill of excitement down my spine. I shut the box and stepped back, heart hammering. I couldn't. Not again. But I did. Within minutes, I was standing before the mirror again, the wig perfectly framing my face, the red dress hugging my body like it belonged there. My hands trembled slightly as I adjusted the strap on my shoulder, watching a stranger, a beautiful, confident woman, stare back at me. That's when I made the mistake that would change everything. I took another selfie. This time a full body shot just to see the full look. And when I checked the picture on my phone, I froze. The woman in the picture looked exactly like Chloe. It wasn't just a resemblance, it was uncanny. Same jawline, same eyes, same faint smile. For a moment, it didn't even look like me at all. My stomach twisted in disbelief. I set my phone down, shaking my head. "This is insane," I whispered. But I couldn't look away. Something deep inside me, part guilt, part thrill, whispered that I wanted to see how far the illusion could go. So, I tried another outfit. Then another. Each one brought me closer to her reflection. Each one erased a little more of Ethan from the mirror. Hours slipped by unnoticed. By late afternoon, my phone buzzed. A message from Chloe. CHLOE. "Hey, did you get the boxes all right?" CHLOE. Also, random. "Someone told me they saw me near your area yesterday." Weird, right? My heart stopped. I stared at her message, my reflection still staring back at me. Her face, not mine. My breath hitched. Someone had seen me. I typed back quickly. "Ethan, yeah, got them." "That's strange though. Maybe someone who looks like you?" I hit send, forcing myself to laugh it off, but my hands were shaking. The thrill was fading, replaced by the creeping weight of panic. I peeled off the clothes, stuffed everything back into the box, and hid it under the bed just as the sound of a key turned in the front door. Isabella was home early. I froze. Her voice filled the apartment, cheerful, unsuspecting. "Ethan? You here?" I rushed to the bathroom, splashed cold water on my face, and checked the mirror. My wig was off, my hair slightly mussed, but the faint pink tint of lipstick still clung to my lips. I grabbed a towel and wiped hard, praying she wouldn't notice. She peeked in. "Hey, you okay?" "Yeah," I said quickly, forcing a smile. "Just washing up." She frowned slightly, but didn't press it. I picked up dinner on the way home. I exhaled slowly, heart still pounding. Dinner passed in a blur, Isabella chatting about work while I nodded at all the right moments, my mind racing with what had just happened. When she went to bed, I lay awake beside her, staring at the ceiling, my heart heavy with confusion. Why couldn't I stop? The next morning, Isabella left early again for a client meeting, and the moment the door clicked shut, I felt the temptation pulling me back like a tide. I told myself I just wanted to put the clothes away properly. But the truth was, I wanted to feel that rush again, the one that made me forget who I was and everything I feared. Within minutes, I was standing in front of the mirror again. The wig in place, a soft blue dress hugging my frame, mascara thickening my lashes. This time, I smiled without guilt. I moved differently now. I didn't just wear the clothes, I became her. Every gesture, every step in those heels felt more natural. I even spoke softly to my reflection, mimicking Chloe's voice. It was surreal, but it felt right. I decided to take a few more pictures just to see if the resemblance still held. But I made a critical mistake. I forgot to disable automatic cloud backup. The photos uploaded instantly to my shared folder, the same one Isabella used to sync work files. Hours later, my phone buzzed with a notification. "Isabella, who's this girl on your phone? She looks exactly like Chloe. What's going on?" The world tilted. I stared at the message, my blood turning to ice. I didn't even know what to say. My throat closed up. I typed and deleted half a dozen replies before finally writing. "Ethan, it's a project photo. Just some concept work I was testing for a design client." A lie. A stupid, obvious lie. Her reply came fast. "Isabella, you used to tell me everything. What's with all the secrets lately?" My hands trembled. I stared at my reflection, the painted version of me looking just as scared. I wanted to tell her the truth, to confess everything, but the words wouldn't come. That night, Isabella came home quiet. She didn't mention the message, but her eyes searched mine across the dinner table, suspicious and unreadable. I could feel the distance between us growing like a crack in glass, invisible at first, then spreading fast. The next few days were torture. Isabella was colder, distracted, and I knew she was watching me. Every time my phone buzzed, she'd glance at it. Every time I shut my laptop, she'd ask what I was working on. And yet, the secret called to me like an addiction. When she was at work, I'd slip into the clothes again, not every day, but often enough to feel like I was living a double life. It wasn't even about the thrill anymore. It was about the calm that came with it. The person in the mirror wasn't stressed or anxious. She wasn't lying to anyone. She was free. I gave her a name, Evelyn. Evelyn became my secret escape, the part of me I couldn't show, but desperately needed. But secrets don't stay secrets for long. One afternoon, while dressed as Evelyn, I heard a faint knock at the door. My heart stopped. I froze, not daring to breathe. The knock came again, louder this time. "Ethan? It's Chloe." My blood ran cold. Panic surged through me. My sister was standing outside the door, while I looked exactly like her. If she saw me like this, in her clothes, her old wig, her reflection, there'd be no explaining it away. I grabbed for the zipper on my dress, but my fingers fumbled. The knock came again. "Ethan? You home?" I whispered to myself, "Don't move. Don't make a sound." But then my phone buzzed on the nightstand, loud enough to echo through the apartment. Chloe's voice sharpened. "I heard that. Open up." And just like that, my worst fear was at the door. Chloe's knocking grew sharper, impatient. "Ethan, I know you're in there." My mind went blank. Every second that ticked by made my pulse throb louder in my ears. I was standing in her old red dress, wearing her wig, her face staring back at her door. I took a shaky breath, glancing at myself in the mirror. The resemblance was uncanny. Even I could barely tell us apart. My reflection looked calm, confident, nothing like the terrified man underneath. I had two choices: hide and hope she'd leave, or open the door and face the unthinkable. The knocking turned into a thud. "Ethan, I swear if you're ignoring me." I panicked. My hands shot for the zipper again, fumbling helplessly. The fabric stuck halfway down my back. My heart raced so fast it hurt. Finally, I yanked it down, tore off the wig, and threw both under the bed. My hair was a mess, my shirt half-buttoned, and my breathing uneven when I finally opened the door. "Chloe."
"Hey."
"Sorry, I was, in the shower." She frowned, brushing past me into the living room. "In the shower? Dressed like that?" I froze. My reflection, the one I thought I'd hidden, stared back at us from the full-length mirror by the hallway. A tube of lipstick sat open on the dresser. The wig's golden strands peeked from under the bed.
My throat went dry.
Chloe's eyes followed my gaze, then widened in realization. "What the hell?" She bent down, grabbed the wig, and stared at it. "Ethan, why do you have my stuff? Is this a joke?" My mouth opened, but no sound came out. I wanted to lie, to say it was for a costume, a project, anything. But the truth had already flooded the room. Her voice softened, but only slightly. "You've been wearing them, haven't you?" Tears burned my eyes. "Chloe, it's not what you think." "Then what is it?" she demanded, holding the wig up like evidence. "Because right now it looks like my little brother's been pretending to be me." The silence stretched, heavy and suffocating. I finally whispered, "I didn't mean to. I missed feeling confident. I missed you. I don't know why I look like you. It just happened." Her expression softened a little, confusion flickering through anger. "Ethan, you could have just told me. I didn't think you'd understand." She sighed, rubbing her temples. "I don't even know what to understand right now. This is a lot." Neither of us noticed the front door open. "Ethan?" Isabella's voice rang out from the hallway. I froze. Chloe's eyes darted to me. "Wait, she doesn't know?" Before I could answer, Isabella stepped into view, and her face drained of color. She stared at Chloe, then at me, then back again. What is going on here? For a long, awful moment, no one said a word. The air crackled with tension. I could feel my entire world teetering on the edge of collapse. Finally, Isabella took a step closer, eyes narrowing. "Why are you wearing her clothes?" "Isabella, please," I said quickly, voice shaking. "It's not what it looks like." "Not what it looks like?" she snapped, her voice rising. "Then explain. Because it looks like you've been lying to me for God knows how long, sneaking around, dressing up like your sister." Chloe intervened, holding up her hands. "Hey, maybe we should all just stay out of this," Isabella shouted. "You didn't walk in on your boyfriend pretending to be someone else." Tears welled in my eyes. It wasn't pretending. I needed to feel something different. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. She stared at me, her anger shifting to disbelief. "You're saying this means something to you?" I hesitated, then nodded slowly. "It's not about you. It's about me. I don't know what it means yet, but when I dress like that, I feel whole. Like I can finally breathe." The words hung between us, fragile and terrifying. Isabella shook her head, stepping back as if the air between us had turned toxic. "I don't even know who you are right now." Chloe reached out, her voice trembling. "Bella, maybe." But Isabella was already heading for the door. "I can't do this." The door slammed. The sound echoed through the apartment, leaving only the faint hum of the city beyond the windows. Chloe stood there in silence, her expression unreadable. "You love her?" I nodded weakly.
"Yeah."
She sighed, setting the wig gently on the bed. "Then you'd better start being honest. With her. With yourself." I sat down, my legs suddenly weak. The room felt too small, the air too heavy. "I ruined everything," I whispered. Chloe's voice softened. "You didn't ruin anything. You just exposed what was already there."
She paused.
"But Ethan, or whoever you are when you look in that mirror, you can't live like this forever. Hiding won't help anyone. Her words struck deeper than I expected. She left quietly a few minutes later, leaving me alone in the silence. I sat there for what felt like hours, staring at the reflection across from me. The remnants of makeup smeared across my face, the red dress crumpled on the floor. I picked up the wig, running my fingers through the strands. And then I saw it, the photo notification on my phone. One of the cloud-synced selfies. The image had somehow gone viral online. Someone had reposted it with the caption, "These twins are too identical. Are they even real?" Dozens of comments flooded underneath, debating whether the photo was fake, edited, or creepy. My stomach dropped. The internet thought I was Chloe, and the resemblance was too perfect to deny. I wanted to throw the phone across the room, but all I could do was stare at the picture. Two versions of me now existed. Ethan, who was falling apart, and Evelyn, who everyone thought was someone else entirely. A shadow passed over my heart. Was this who I was meant to be? Or was I losing myself entirely? That night, Isabella didn't come home.
She didn't text.
She didn't call. I sat by the window, staring at the glow of the city, feeling the world crumble around me. But even through the guilt, the shame, and the fear, a small, dangerous truth flickered inside me. When I had been Evelyn, I'd felt alive. And I couldn't let her go anymore. Days passed. The viral post spread further, even reaching Chloe's friends. She called me in a panic. "Ethan, people are asking if I've been cloned. What's going on?" I swallowed hard. "I'm sorry.
I didn't mean for this to happen."
The photo must have leaked somehow."
Leaked?
You mean you posted it? I didn't. It was automatic backup, remember?
She sighed.
Well, now the internet thinks I have a twin. You might want to start figuring out what you're going to do when people realize that's not true. And that's when the idea hit me, half madness, half desperation. What if, I said slowly, we let them believe it? Chloe went silent. You can't be serious. I'm serious, I said. No one knows the truth. You, and I could play along until it blows over. Ethan, this isn't a game. I know, but it's the only way to control it now. She hesitated. And Isabella? I swallowed hard. I'll deal with her later. But even as I said it, I knew the damage was already done. The world was starting to see me as someone else, and maybe, just maybe, I wanted it that way. By the end of that week, everything had spiraled beyond repair. Chloe reluctantly agreed to meet me at a cafe to discuss a plan. But when I arrived, heads turned. Whispers spread. That's the twins, someone whispered. They look exactly alike. Chloe's eyes darted nervously across the room. See what you've done? We can't even go out without people staring. But I couldn't stop noticing how natural it felt, sitting across from her, both of us wearing similar dresses, makeup, hair styled almost identically. The world saw sisters. And for the first time, I didn't feel ashamed. I felt seen. Chloe noticed it too, the calm on my face. You're really not going to stop, are you? I shook my head softly. I don't think I can. Before she could reply, my phone buzzed again. A new message. From Isabella. We need to talk. Now. The moment I read Isabella's message, my stomach dropped. We need to talk.
Now.
I hadn't seen her in days, not since the viral photo exploded online. Every second since then, I'd felt the invisible weight of my secret pressing down on me, threatening to crush everything. And now she wanted to confront me. I closed my laptop and took a shaky breath. The wig lay on the bed, the red dress folded neatly beside it. Chloe had gone back home after our awkward outing, leaving me alone with the looming reality. I couldn't hide anymore. I tried to calm myself, brushing my hair down and straightening my clothes, but nothing could prepare me for what was coming. Every step toward the door felt heavier than the last. When I opened it, Isabella was already standing there, arms crossed, her eyes scanning me from head to toe. Ethan, she said, her voice low but sharp. Explain. I froze, the words caught in my throat. Every excuse, every lie I had rehearsed crumbled instantly. Please, I whispered. She held up a hand, stopping me. Don't. Just show me. My heart skipped a beat. Show her? Before I could think, my fingers trembled as I reached for the box. Slowly, I pulled out the red dress and wig. My hands shook as I held them in front of her, like presenting evidence in a courtroom. Isabella's eyes widened. You've been wearing this? I nodded, voice barely audible. I don't know. I needed to feel like someone else. Like me. Her gaze softened for a second, then hardened again. Do you realize what you've done? The lies, the secrecy, the photos that are all over the internet. Tears pricked at my eyes. I didn't mean for any of that to happen. Stop, she said sharply. Stop trying to explain. Just be honest. Who is she? I swallowed. Evelyn. That's who I become when I put on the clothes. The wig. The makeup. It's not Chloe. It's me. She stepped back, staring at me as if seeing me for the first time. You've been living a double life? I nodded, too afraid to speak. For a long, heavy moment, neither of us moved. The apartment felt suffocating, the silence deafening. And then she spoke, her voice low, almost trembling. You're saying you've been happier as her? Yes, I whispered, tears spilling down my cheeks. I feel free. I feel like myself. She shook her head slowly, looking away. I don't know what to do with this. My chest tightened. Please don't hate me. Her eyes met mine again, a mixture of shock, confusion, and hurt. I don't even know who you are anymore. The room fell silent. My hands still held the dress, the wig dangling from my fingers. I felt exposed, vulnerable, and terrified. Then her phone buzzed. She glanced at it, frowning. Ethan, she said quietly, almost to herself. You need to see this. I leaned in as she showed me the screen. Another notification, a comment on the viral photo. Are they twins for real? I can't believe how identical they look. This is insane. I felt a cold wave wash over me. The world was watching. My secret wasn't just out. It had grown beyond me, beyond Isabella, beyond Chloe. She looked at me, eyes narrowing. Do you even understand what's happening? People think you're Chloe. They're talking about you online. Your family, everyone. I know, I whispered, shaking. I don't know what to do. She took a deep breath, stepping closer. Ethan, if you can't be honest about this, if you can't tell me the truth, then I don't know if we can stay together. Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. My chest tightened, my knees weak. I opened my mouth, but no words came out. The red dress felt heavier in my hands, the wig strands brushing my palms. I looked down at them, feeling the weight of my secret, the thrill, the shame, the longing, and the fear all colliding in one unbearable moment. And then, a sound from the hallway made both of us freeze, the faint click of the front door. Isabella's eyes darted to the entrance. What now? I turned, heart hammering. Standing there was someone I wasn't ready to face, a neighbor, a stranger, someone who had apparently seen the photo online and now wanted to confront me in person. I froze, my hands tightening around the dress and wig. My breath hitched. Isabella's voice shook. Ethan, tell me that isn't who I think it is. I swallowed hard, unable to answer. My reflection in the hallway mirror stared back at me, Evelyn's eyes wide and vulnerable. The world was closing in from all sides. And at that moment I realized nothing would ever be the same. The knock on the door came again, louder this time. Evelyn, a voice called. I looked at Isabella. She looked back, her face pale, her lips parted in shock. I knew in that instant that the next decision I made, the next move I took, could either destroy everything or finally set me free. But I didn't have time to think. The doorknob rattled. And that's when it hit me. Someone was about to see Evelyn for real. A call to action for viewers. Who is at the door? Will Isabella accept Ethan's truth, or will this secret finally ruin everything? Comment below what you think will happen next, and what you would do if you were in Ethan's shoes.